Picture this. You're scrolling through your feed, and it looks like everyone suddenly figured life out. One person just bought a house. Another's posting vacation photos from Greece. Someone you went to school with is talking about their investment portfolio now, and you can't help but think, when did that happen? It feels like everyone's moving faster while you're still trying to get traction. But here's what no one posts. The years of quiet saving. The weekends they skipped plans to work extra hours. The money they invested when it barely felt like it mattered. Wealth doesn't show up loudly. It builds quietly, in the background. And then, all at once, it looks like success came overnight. The truth is, getting rich slowly feels invisible until it doesn't. The small decisions, the habit of saving, saying no, staying consistent, don't look dramatic, but they compound. And one day, the graph stops crawling and starts curving upward. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why wealth works this way, why it looks slow for years and then explodes, and how to make sure you're on the right side of that curve when it does. Section 1. The myth of overnight success. We love the idea of overnight success. It's dramatic, inspiring, easy to envy, but it's almost never real. What looks like someone suddenly making it, the promotion, the new house, the $1 million portfolio, is usually the final scene of a movie that started years ago. You just didn't see the early drafts. The years of boring work. The nights where they stayed in to pay off debt instead of going out. The quiet decisions that never made it to social media because slow progress doesn't get likes. Most people only notice success once it becomes visible. But wealth doesn't announce itself as it grows. It compounds in silence. It looks ordinary right up until it doesn't. Think about it like an iceberg. The visible tip, the nice car, the new home, the I finally made it moment, sits on top of years of invisible effort holding it up. So the next time you see someone's overnight win, remember, you're just seeing the part that finally floated above the water. Section 2. The invisible stage. Boring consistency. This is the stage no one talks about, because it doesn't look like progress. It's the quiet stretch where you're doing all the right things, and nothing seems to change. You're saving a few $100s a month, investing small amounts that barely move the needle, reading, learning, saying no to instant rewards, all while wondering if any of it even matters. This stage is boring by design. It's where discipline replaces excitement, and it's where almost everyone gives up. Wealth in its early stages doesn't reward effort, it rewards patience. Think of it like planting seeds. For months, maybe years, it looks like nothing's happening. But underground, roots are spreading, strengthening, preparing to grow fast once the time is right. Every dollar saved, every payment made, every decision to stay the course, it's building momentum you just can't see yet. The quiet years are where wealth is built. The loud years are just where it becomes visible. Section 3. The math behind suddenly. Here's where the illusion breaks. Wealth doesn't grow in a straight line. It curves. Slow, flat, steady, then sharp. That's how compound growth works. It looks painfully slow in the beginning because the numbers are small. But given time, each gain starts earning its own gains, and that's when everything accelerates. Think about this. If you double a dollar every day for 30 days, it's only $64 after 1 week. After 2 weeks, it's $8,000. By day 30, over $500 million. That's how compounding hides progress, quietly stacking until it suddenly becomes obvious. The same thing happens with your investments, your savings, even your habits. For years, it feels like you're treading water. Then one day, you check your account, and it feels like it jumped overnight. It didn't. It just crossed the part of the curve where progress becomes visible. Wealth feels slow, then impossible, then inevitable. That's not magic. That's math. Section 4. Why most people quit too soon. Here's the sad part. Most people never make it past the boring middle. They do the hard work for a while, saving, investing, staying consistent. But because results still look small, they assume it's not working. So they stop. They cash out early. They chase the next thing that looks faster, louder, more exciting. And that's how they lose. Not because the system failed, but because they quit right before the curve was about to bend. It's like mining for gold. You dig for months through dirt and rock, get inches away from a massive vein, and give up the week before you would have struck it. That's the irony of building wealth. The moment it feels hardest is usually the moment you're closest to seeing real progress. The people who win aren't always the smartest or the luckiest. They're just the ones who stayed long enough to see the quiet part finally get loud. So if it feels slow right now, that's not failure. That's compounding doing its quiet work. Keep going. The curve hasn't bent yet. Section 5. The quiet habits behind sudden wealth. What looks like luck is almost always habit. Every overnight success is just a stack of quiet, repetitive actions that no one noticed for years. The truth is, people who end up wealthy aren't doing extraordinary things. They're doing ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. They automate instead of improvise. They keep budgets simple. They invest the same amount every single month, even when the market is down and everyone else is panicking. They learn one new thing each quarter that makes them slightly harder to replace at work. They skip trends, skip drama, and quietly let time do the heavy lifting. There's no applause for any of it. No one congratulates you for packing lunch, reading a book about investing, or transferring $200 to an index fund on a Friday night. But those are the tiny decisions that bend the curve in your favor. Wealth doesn't arrive with fanfare. It accumulates in the background while you're living your life. Like water dripping into a bucket, slow, almost unnoticeable, until one day it spills over and everyone asks how you filled it so fast. The habits that make you rich rarely feel rewarding in real time. They're boring, repetitive, and often invisible. But that's their power. They compound quietly, shielded from emotion and impulse. Quiet wealth isn't about being smarter. It's about being steady. You don't need intensity, you need rhythm. Automatic transfers, predictable investments, consistent learning, that's the heartbeat of real progress. By the time the results become visible, the habits have already done their job. That's when people start calling you lucky. But luck is just what consistency looks like in public. Section 6. The moment it feels sudden. There's a moment in everyone's financial journey where the math flips, where the work you did years ago starts producing results faster than your effort today. It's subtle at first. Your investments start earning more in a month than you save by cutting expenses. Your savings account balance grows even when you don't add much. You check your net worth one day and realize it quietly doubled since the last time you looked. That's the moment where quiet turns into sudden. It's not luck, it's momentum finally visible. The same compound interest that once crawled now runs on autopilot. The money you saved is generating its own income. The skills you built are paying you back through promotions, opportunities, and confidence. That's when wealth stops being something you chase and starts being something that works in the background. You still show up, still do the habits, but now your past effort is doing most of the heavy lifting. It feels sudden, but it's not. It's the sound of time catching up. All those quiet choices, the skipped upgrades, the early mornings, the not this month moments, finally echo back as freedom. And here's the best part. Once you reach that point, it doesn't just feel easier, it stays easier. Momentum takes over. Money earns money. Discipline turns into options. That's the real secret of sudden wealth. It was never sudden. It was just invisible until it couldn't hide anymore. Here's the truth about getting rich quietly. It never feels like it's working while you're in it. It feels slow, repetitive, almost invisible. But every small choice, every automatic transfer, every boring investment, every time you stayed the course when others quit, was compounding behind the scenes. Then one day, everything shifts. Your money starts earning more than your effort. Your past discipline starts paying for your present freedom. And that's when everyone else notices, not realizing you've been at it for years. Most people chase shortcuts. The wealthy chase momentum. Because quiet effort, repeated long enough, always looks like sudden success in the end. If you want to understand where that shift really happens, the exact point where money starts working harder than you do, watch the next video. Why the first 100K is the hardest. It's the real turning point, the moment where all your quiet years start compounding into visible results. Click that next video and keep building your quiet advantage.